Hi everybody. So I thought I'd just take you through some work that I've been doing outside of my sketchbook for this video. One of my little goals for this year was to do a bit more work outside of my sketchbook, because I'm not very good at it, in the sense of I get the bit of fear because I'm so used to now working in my sketchbook that I then get a bit of fear when I go to work outside of it. And I did exhibit some work last year around Christmas that obviously wasn't in my sketchbook, and I really enjoyed the process of that, and would like to do that more. Would like to maybe exhibit more, but we'll see. That's just one of them things as to whether you get accepted for exhibits, etc. And I would like to go back to trying to sell some work maybe at some point, but maybe some original work. I don't know. I've got all of these ideas in my head. But firstly, my small goal was to work more outside of my sketchbook. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my sketchbook. It gives you such freedom. And you can have finished pieces in a sketchbook that you could then scan it in and stuff. So it's not like you cannot create some finished work from it. And there's just loads of endless possibilities with a sketchbook. I think my main aim was to not have the fear of doing it. So I've been working a little bit more outside of the sketchbook recently. So I keep it in this big folder. At the time of filming this, it's the most recent on top. There's a lot of live call Patreon work in here again. I'm absolutely loving live calls, and I also joined a workshop that Emma was doing with London Drawing Group. Haven't done any of their workshops before, but I'm going to look to see if there's any more that I could join, because I think doing workshops or little short courses is going to be something that I definitely want to do more of in the future, or now even, because it's just so useful and you can learn so much and practice different things again outside of your comfort zone. So first off, we have this jelly print. This is the first pull, this is the second pull, and I worked on top of this with some pencils. This was from an Emma Carlisle live call that I did on Patreon for pressed flowers. Such a great session. Love jelly printing so much. You can do such great things with it. This was also part of that session. This was a disaster pull that I kind of worked on top a lot with pencils to get it kind of how I wanted it. This is on the Jackson's paper, and this is on printmaking paper. This was a bit of a disaster pull, but I worked on top of it with pencils and a neon colour. I'll insert a before picture of it, because although I love this, I kind of wish I'd just left it the way it was as well, because thinking back, it kind of looked like, if you've ever has anybody ever pressed flowers before? I used to press them like years ago in like a flower press. You can use a flower press, or obviously you can press them between books, but if you put tissue paper in, or like kitchen paper or whatever, the colour sometimes can bleed out of the flowers, and it looked like that. It looked a bit like the colour had bled out of the flowers. Looked quite nice. This is on, I've just left it in here because it's to protect it. This is Luna, our cat. She's with me here in the studio. She's curled up on her cat tower, which you may have seen in my studio video if you watch that to see how I'm getting on. This is just continuing work that I did from the London Drawing Club session with Emma Carlisle on cats and mark making. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen quite a bit of work on there. I loved that session. It was like a 2-hour workshop that you pay for with London Drawing Group even. And I'm going to look to see if they do any more, because like I say, I think workshops or like lessons, it is something that I want to do to build on the work that I'm already doing with Patreon sessions, because I think you can learn a lot from it, particularly if it's outside of something that you would normally draw. So this is on a textured background on here, and Luna's obviously not this colour, but it was using her like markings and a reference photo of her to draw from, because I've got tons of photos of her on my phone. Luna is a tabby cat, so I find her markings difficult to draw because there's sometimes no definition to them. She does have stripes, but she's also quite mottled as well. She's absolutely gorgeous, but she's obviously different to, like, you know, say a tuxedo cat, which has got standard markings, for example. Well, not standard markings, but you know what I mean, where easy to define markings, for example. But I do like how this turned out. I feel like I've captured her well on that. So that's Luna. This is just a random cat using one of the textures I created from the workshop. I think we have to do textures, and I made too many basically for what actually we did in the workshop, but it's nice to work on those outside of that. And this was just one, I was just messing around. This is one of, I did this during the session, and oh my god, I've literally just sorted out its mouth and its whiskers because its mouth was just didn't look right at all. But I don't mind this now I've looked back on it, but I didn't really like it at the time. This was the one I liked at the time. So lots of neon and lots of marks. This is my part of my parents' garden with the summer house, which I've kind of got, it's not at the right angle, the summer house, but I like the textures for the garden and the flowers, etc. So I was just having a mess around. This was a Francis Ives Patreon session, which it's not brilliant. I like this texture here. Yeah, I was just working on textured background. It's not brilliant, but there's elements of it that I like. These were from Sarah Dyer's Patreon session. I loved this. I was having one of those moments where I was like, yeah, I really love everything that I've done in this session, which is rare. Hopefully you might have seen these on my Instagram if you follow me over on Instagram. But yeah, I absolutely loved this session. I think they were her photos from Italy. It was such a great session. Really, really enjoyed that. This is a very old, well, I say very old, I've not dated it, I can't remember when it's from, but this is a fox one, which I think at the time I was like, I'm not that keen on it, but actually I don't mind it. There's elements that I like of it, so I might kind of try and redo that. This is something, I shared it on my Instagram. This is a Whitby Abbey, used from a reference photo that I had taken years ago, and I made it quite gothic with the dark sky. I really like that, the atmosphere on that. What else have we got in here? Oh, this is a collage. I kind of want to do more collage. Yeah, I really like this. This was using some textured, like a textured background, but obviously like some collage papers that I made, or just random bits. I've got tons and tons and tons of paper that I could use for collage, which is why I kind of want to do a bit more with it, but we will see. I really like that though. I love polar bears. If you have seen my recent sketchbook tour, it was a Pithlumia sketchbook tour, you will have seen a couple of negative space monkeys in the sketchbook, and this was from that session as well. I really didn't like this paper that I used. It's a handmade paper, but I wanted to use it up. However, I'd like kind of prepared it with some acrylic, And I'm not a big textured paper fan. You know, I have used it before, liked it when I've used it, but I've kind of moved away from that. Don't really like using it now. But I thought I'll use it up for these negative space monkeys. I do like the shapes for the space monkey, the monkeys. And then this was another one from that session, again on the textured paper. But I like the negative space on those. This is just a polar bear working on a textured background. I think I've shown this, I think this was in a video, which I'll try and link to. These next ones might be from videos. This is the 2nd of January, so yeah, this is like a winter landscape, which I think I did a video on. So I'll link to that. And then I think I might have shown this one in a video as well. Love this one. Love the little fox and a polar bear. Oh, and this was Folktale Week. Love this. Don't know if I've shown that on here, but this is Folktale Week, and I love that. No, I don't think I've used anything light fast in it, so I can't really hang it on the wall, but I would hang it on the wall. Maybe that's something I should scan in, but I love that. I think that's the only, yeah, they're just swatches from Inkvent, which again, I did Inkvent on here, so you can watch those videos. Yeah, I want to do Folktale Week again, but I want to do it better than last year. I mean, I love what I did, but I think I could do something, maybe it's storyboardy, I don't know, or think about it a little bit more than what I did for this year, last year even. So yeah, they are my working outside of my sketchbook work, and yeah, I'm really happy with everything. I'm using everything as a bit of a learning curve, which is good, and working towards something. I don't know what that something is, but we're working towards it and we're keeping it on going, and we'll see where it will take us. And I'll take you with me on that little journey that I'm going on. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. You all take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. She is studio buddy. She's sleeping. Sleepy. In the light, aren't you? Yeah.